Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. What I'm going to share today is something I have not shared before. I might have shared a little bit, but not so much. It all actually started at the end of 2023 and beginning of 2024 when I saw a demon. I've been seeing demons even before that. Just before my sister's marriage, I saw this really ugly, scary looking demon with red eyes. And he told me that he's gonna rob me of my peace and I will not be happy at my sister's wedding. And you know what? I'm not scared of demons, especially now. Last year, a demon, or maybe multiple demons, they kept speaking to me, telling me to end my life. It was not easy, of course. I was healing people, I was making content, I feed 200 street animals, and I have some rescues. And I live mostly in my solitude. I remember they would tell me to look at the fan all the time. And I would ask them why. Is that how you do it to everyone? Why this is such a commonly told thing? My relationship with demons goes back a long time. My mom, who's also a psychic, she has many experiences, of course, unexplainable to many people, some very divine, mystical ones, and some very scary. But she's obviously scared of the scary ones. So she always tried to keep it hidden, the psychic abilities. She never wanted it to grow. She never wanted to work with people. She only heals her own kids. And if I ask for healing, then maybe she will. But otherwise, she just wants to stay away from all this. I can understand. She used to sleepwalk as a child and she saw things that if I start telling you guys, you probably won't even believe it. So yeah, I'm not gonna tell it to you. Not now at least. So my relationship with demons goes back a long time. The first time my mother saw me with a demon, trying to obviously attack me, trying to kill me, was when I was getting born. Yes, right after I was born. And something saved me. That part I will not tell you here on this audio. That is only for people who meet me or talk to me in a personal session or a therapy session. Because some things are not meant to be revealed on a platform like this. I mean, I know people share all of their stories, but this specific part is for only people who sign up for it. After that, my mother experienced a lot of crazy activities around me, and some of them were really like divine in nature, and some of them freaked her out. I don't remember those things, to be very honest, but I lived in a cursed house, and that started when I was a very little girl. I mean, my first house was very nice, and which I call the main house, and I never get to live over there because in my chart I have a combination which says that wherever I'm born, I'm not gonna be able to live there. Okay, fine, acceptable. due to which my parents got me to the city from the mountains. The mountains are a lot more protected places, I feel, even now, because there are so many deities who live over there. And the demons are always scared of the deity energy. I also come from a clan where deities come and the word possession is not the right word here, because it's like they choose people who they feel are the right ones, the right vessels to handle their energy. And with that energy, those people heal others in the family, within the family. However, I was gonna get healing from someone even bigger. Although I have lots and lots of gratitude towards the deities because they came to protect me at different times in my life. I know all of this could be very interesting for some of you, could be scary for some of you, and could be absurd for few of you. Not so many, but few. So I used to live in a house in the city, and I moved there thanks to my parents who really did not have any idea that life at the mountains, in the farms, in the fields, in open places near the rivers is so much better than stupid, shitty, like, yeah, I feel like saying it, city lives. It's really sad the way people keep moving to cities, hoping that their lives in cities would be so much better. But I know now why I came to the city. I came to the city because the animals need love. So God put a lot of people like us in the cities for a reason. And it's really sad to see that a lot of animal lovers actually run to the mountains not for the animals. They run to the beaches not for the animals, for themselves. Which is why many of them are not at peace. It depends on what kind of facility they build, of course. If it's a facility that helps animals, then why not? But I feel that animals in the cities, they need love, attention. They need to be rescued, because if you rescue them, they're going to rescue you instead. That's how it works. So coming back to the demons, when I was a kid, I lived in this cursed house. I don't know how it became cursed. Some of it I know maybe, but some of it I don't know. But probably the curse started when my grandfather was already there. Some of the things, again, I'm omitting from here because I cannot tell you guys everything. But yeah, even my grandparents saw some crazy activities. The only thing is they thought it to be mental health issue or some other problem, like some 3D problem, but not really an actual spiritual problem. My grandmother, the paternal one, she also she was a chosen one as well for a deity. And she also was a channeler, but a different type of channeler. And I don't know if that helped her or was that the reason why her family was attacked? I don't know. But yeah, they did have a very tumultuous, very difficult, mentally disturbed life all throughout, especially in old age. Whatever my mom told me, my grandmother had to go through a lot, the paternal one. The maternal grandmother is pretty chilled out, although she can't hear that well now, but she was the one who really doesn't give a rat's ass. In some cases, it's a good thing, but I think in some cases, it's like a very non-empathetic situation to be in. But she is independent and she's happy, and I like such people. Anyway, so when I moved to this cursed house and I was really young, I saw that there were a man and a woman who lived on the house below ours. They had leprosy. They had like really scary looking faces, hairstyles. I mean, they were teaching kids, they were teaching children, like poor children. Now I teach poor children, I help poor children, but I don't know why those kids didn't get freaked out by just looking at that couple. For a long time I thought they were a couple, but then my parents told me that they're not a couple, they're actually brother and sister who live together and both have leprosy. All right, my parents even told me, why don't you also go and study? And they're nice people, blah blah blah. So I think I went there, but I had never seen a more darker place. I mean, as a child, I really could feel that this is a dark ass place. We used to have a maid servant who used to work with us, and her daughter had unalived herself in the same house, in that house, in one of the rooms. That room was a very dark room. Like, when I say dark here, I don't mean to say dark in a positive way, because darkness can also be very positive place for healing. I mean evil. Okay, so when I'm saying dark here, it's evil. So basically it was an evil energy, and I felt it. So I never wanted to go to that house. I always avoided. I never felt like going there. I would tell my mother, I'm not going and studying with those freaks, those scary people. I mean, their hair was literally always standing, in the air. And they had like these really big eyes. And why would they open up a trust, I used to think, when they themselves were in such a bad condition? They needed someone to take care of them. But no, they were taking care of underprivileged children. And I don't know how they were doing it. Anyway, they died. I don't know if they died together or what was it, but I was just simply told that they died. I never even asked about it, and probably I will talk to my mother about it. Like, what sequence did that brother and sister pair it died? Nevertheless, there was this sort of a shade just above that evil room. Okay, it was a very dark room. Even technically light never used to be in that room. And I remember going to that house, and I don't know like why I was roaming in that house, but I remember going towards all the rooms, and that was like the darkest room, energetically as well as otherwise, logistically. And one fine day, my father decided to break that shade or shed and build a floor over there and to create like a big balcony space. I think that's when they disturbed whatever evil thing was there in that house. And before that, my father had really good business. Everything was going great. My parents sort of looked happy. I mean, I don't remember them going through so much trouble before that. My grandfather was also alive at that time. And I think till the time my grandfather was present in my life, I had a nice childhood. My childhood became sad and abusive after he left. So he was like this protective umbrella. Although he himself had a very tumultuous situation with his children, including my father, of course. But I had a great bond with my granddad. He's the one who taught me English. He's the one who taught me literature. He made me his assistant for his book. So yeah, I actually started writing a book when I was very young. When other kids couldn't even, make words, I was translating for him. He did actually educate me really well. Like, he probably saw something in me and he just fanned it, and I absorbed it much faster than others. I remember I was really young, probably 4 or 5 years old. He gave me an Oxford dictionary and he asked me to look for words every day, and I would do that. And one of the words that I learned from him at a very young age was deja vu. The first word, in fact, was deja vu. The second word I remember very well was mirage, because these were the things I was experiencing. So I would explain it to my grandfather, and he would give me one word for it. So when I asked him about deja vu, I was having a lot of deja vus as a child, and I was going through experiences where I could sense energy portals. And I would always have a strange experience at the energy portal. Either I would see a vision, or I would see a vision like situation, and I would see a lot of scenes getting repeated. So I told him about it, and he said, well, this phenomenon is called a deja vu. And I said, okay. So I was so young when I learned this word. One of the words he also taught me was soulmate. I asked him about soulmates. Like, I didn't say that what is a soulmate, but I asked him the feeling you have for your wife, who's my paternal grandmother, what is that feeling called? And he said, it's love, but she's my soulmate. And she's gonna come and fetch my soul when I leave this planet. So I'm literally just waiting for her to do that. And I was very surprised with this type of declaration, because I was so young to understand these things. And I was like, are you happy right now? He said, yeah, I'm very happy. It's not like I'm sad that she's no more, but I'm also waiting to meet her again. And I will be born with her like all the time. She's gonna be my life partner every time. I always will choose her. And I was like, okay, that sounds pretty good. And I also asked him about the word sexy, because when we were growing up, we would hear this word a lot. I mean, it was coming into trend, I think. And he told me, that's not a nice word. That's not a good word. And when I asked him, what does it even mean? Like, why is it not a good word? So he said, because sexy actually means naked. And he gave the Hindi version of it. So it sounded really funny. As a child, I laughed hard at it. So yeah, he taught me these words, mirage. I asked him about the mirage experience, and he said, whatever you're experiencing, whatever you saw is not real, it's a mirage. So mirage is something that looks like, you can see water at distance, and when you reach to that point, there's no water. So yeah, it was a combination of evil energy and divine energy at the same time. I was not scared of evil energy. Probably that was the reason why I could go so close to it. And I was not very shocked or even surprised by divine energies, because I felt that it was very normal to have them around. So my experience with demons is basically like, ever since I've existed, I've known them. And the only thing is, when I got programmed to forget things, I think I also forgot about the demons as much as I forgot about the divine presence. So the demons started appearing in front of me in flesh. The pedophilia is a real thing, guys. And those are not humans, they are demons, whosoever is doing it. And basically, their actual goal is to turn whosoever they abuse into someone like them. That's the very reason why they do it, actually. So if you ever study about people who are abusing kids, you would be shocked to know that they were also abused when they were kids. And if we got abused as children, and today we are protecting the children, or we are doing inner work, or we are connected with divine forces, we are actually very much like extremely blessed. We are indeed very lucky that we got rescued, and I know I got rescued just in the nick of time. And then I was put into normal world, normal lifestyle. But then it gave me discernment. Every time I would sense these demonic people around me, and I would like trouble them. I know I used to trouble them on purpose because I just knew that they're possessed by a demonic entity. So I would just like make life very difficult for them. You could say it was my way of defending myself, but I also wanted to them to know that they cannot trouble other people. Like, what if they find someone like me? So I was creating this sort of a fear around them, and I don't think they stopped. I mean, they would still go and trouble other people for money or for social status or for energy. So yeah, I think in this download, I was actually sort of asked to share about this because I have always avoided sharing about my experiences. If I actually start sharing my experiences, a lot of you would go like you would zone out for a bit for sure, because it's very normal for me, but I know it's not normal for a lot of people. The whole twin flame experience actually is an experience of also slaying a lot of demons energetically after a certain point. Because for a long time, people get troubled by them in the physical reality. And some of the people you have dated were actually possessed by the demons. I mean, I'm talking about those people who are literally bygones now. So when you start doing your inner work, when you start searching for who you are and you start trying to reconnect with God and you try to fix your relationship with God, because that's the relationship that needs to be fixed, your relationship with God. If your relationship with God is not healed and there are lots of doubts, you're gonna see it in your life in many places. Now God is obviously giving us power, but we also see our parents as gods. We see them as kings and queens of our world. For a child, the first patriarch and matriarch is the father and the mother figure. And I know it sounds like a bit sad to say this, and I don't want to blame anyone, but yeah, you need to also fix your conditioning that comes from the father and the mother figure. If you were raised by someone else, just in case, then you need to even fix that, because somebody must have played the feminine role, somebody must have played the masculine role. Even children who are raised by homosexual couples, because in future there's going to be a good number of kids who would be raised by homosexual couples, so they're gonna be very confused, but still you would know that there is definitely a feminine energy and a masculine energy. I mean, quite literally, this planet is all about feminine and masculine energy. That's what duality is all about, right? But when it's in distorted form, when it doesn't appear organic or natural, it can create problem for the child who's eventually going to grow up into adult, and they might have gender or sexuality disorientation or distortion as well. And demons love that situation, simply because they don't want you to find the one you love, or if it's not the one you love as a person, they don't want you to find love, and they create a hell lot of distractions. That's what demons do. That's what their job is, to distract people from their path. The more they distract people, they create a good population of people in hell. So if you look at Earth population right now, 8 billion people, yeah, lots of people are creating hell on Earth. And this is the reason why Earth is splitting into two. And some of us are gonna move into 5D reality. I mean, there's no option actually. And some of the people are gonna get merged with hell. And there's a lot of fear in hell. There are lots of souls, trapped souls, confused souls, unhappy souls, unfulfilled souls. Some of them don't even know that they're no longer existing in the physical reality. And lots of demons, of course, demonic agents. So, what do demons actually do? Is not even the question. How do they look like? That's what you need to know. And what do they operate on? And imagine putting fear into those people's minds who put fears into innocent people's minds. As a demon slayer, a lot of you are supposed to give them a soul shock. They don't even have a soul, for example. They don't have a soul, right? So how do you give them a soul shock? I mean, the demons should dread you. The demons who scare everybody else should be scared of you. That's how you deal with them. They should know that if they mess with you, they are FUCKED till eternity. Yeah. I think this is where I'm gonna close this one. Guys, join me on Patreon, because on Patreon I'm gonna be sharing some really cool things that I cannot share on YouTube. Okay. And I've started collection over there. You have to pay a certain amount every month. It's not a very big amount, guys. In fact, there are so many tiers over there, like so many categories. That one I created because it talks in detail about sex, okay, or sexuality or lust. Basically, it's lust versus love. That's also one thing that you're here to do, figure it all out, how it works energetically, and then refrain from lust, because lust is going to burn up all of your gifts, and love is going to give you back your gift. So we need the love, we don't need the lust. So yeah, I'm planning to do a collection. Like a collection is basically a series of videos, and I want more and more people to opt for it. So opt for it, guys, opt for it. Don't you want this information? I also want to talk about demon slaying in detail. I mean, there would be a time I won't be doing one-on-one sessions or therapy sessions like I do right now. Probably I would share information wherever I am. The second cool thing I'm doing on Patreon is creating a database for Twinflame, starseeds, and lightworkers. And I call it the matchmaking and friendship database. It's gonna cost you only $40 a month. That's not a lot of money, guys. We spend $40 on a lot of random shit. So why not help someone create a database? A database of people who are not interested in anything else. Like, you don't want to share only. You want to make good friends and you want to date someone out of that. And you know that if you are into twin flame journey, you don't want to date people for lust. You don't want to misuse this great opportunity you have. You want to get to know people. So yeah, it's also good to have friends. It's good to have friends who are also on the inner work journey. Like, sometimes you can have a talk with them. You can share about your life. You can do like so many things with your friends if your intention is friendship. And when you actually learn to make good friends, you are going to be someone who's good with a relationship as well. So keep it like fluid, and only you guys can help me create this sort of database. So how does it work? It's very simple. You hop onto that list. I'm going to send you a form. The form has some really interesting mind bending or mind opening questions. You answer those questions, and after that you send me a couple of pictures of yours, like latest photos, and I'm going to share it only in that database. So the newbies, you're going to be the newbies, of course. The newbies are, they are going to have to be patient about this. They have to like look for divine timing. And in between, I will also ask questions to people in the live channeling sessions. Are they interested in meeting someone like this? So yeah, hop onto that list. I request all of you to do that. I feel that you guys should not waste your time with 3D people. I don't want you to feel like a superiority complex, but no matter what you do, a materialistic, a 3D relationship or a friendship can act as a stimuli for you, but it can never make you happy as such. It can never contribute. Like when I started getting into my mission work phase, for the first few years, I only met fake people, like a lot of fake people. I don't want you all to go through all the trouble I had to go through to build this community. I mean, you guys can get the benefits. And maybe that's the reason why God put me in this place. Maybe this is also a part of my mission to be a matchmaker. I've always wanted to be a matchmaker, but I didn't want to be a matchmaker for materialistic relationships because that's not the place I see myself. I don't want to be that person. I could have also been in like materialistic fancy relationships, but it was like a claustrophobic place for me. I didn't want to be in that place. So why would I want anyone else to be in that place? So yeah, if you believe in this, if you agree with me, if you also want to have good people in your life, at least people who are vibing in the same zone, people who are doing the same things, So yeah, that's all for now. And thank you so much for listening in. If you have any questions about demons, about love, about manifestation, because I can teach you guys real law of attraction. Whatever they're teaching you on internet, that's not real law of attraction. That is demonic law of attraction. That type of law of attraction is gonna attract many demons in your life, and this is the reason why people who practice law of attraction actually get into a bigger hellhole than getting into a nice interesting godly zone. So actually it is Srimad Bhagavad Gita that talks about all these principles of energy, but it's not so popular in the law of attraction community, and I don't know why, because it actually makes you so happy and peaceful. But yeah, whatever. I mean, that's why I'm here to do this job. I would love to talk about how you can actually manifest true love, and only those people can help you who have actually manifested anything in life, real things, most impossible things, be it love, be it mission, be it what you want to be in life, your career goals, and most importantly, manifest a healed relationship with God and your parents. Because let me tell you, if you cannot heal yourself, you cannot manifest anything. If you cannot heal the relationships you have with your mother and father, the most primitive matriarch and patriarch, you cannot manifest anything. You need to heal first to be able to learn the principles of energy. And what other people are doing is that they're giving you out stuff like spells, and those things cannot help you because you're wounded. You got so much pain in you, you got so much trauma in you, you got so many issues, and on top of that you want to manifest. So basically when you do that, you keep attracting more and more narcissistic people in your life, you keep attracting more and more troublemakers. So when it starts, it looks like, oh, you've manifested love, you've manifested a good relationship, but they're also there to suck out your energy and make you feel more drained than the last time. It's only because of God, it's only because of something around you, some divine energy around you, that you keep getting rescued at the nick of time. Just in the nick of time. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna sign out from this one. See you on Patreon and see you also on YouTube. And hopefully with some of you, if it's written, if it's destined, then personally also, because you might want to ask me some questions, and some of you probably have seen stuff that you've been keeping to yourself and you should not. Alright then, one love, peace out, and victory to Ram. Praise the Lord.